Hey everybody, this is Ed Logan. Hey, if you're in Fruit for Your Life or from Process to Pure Food Movement, or you're in the Process to Pure Food Movement Members Club, I have a treat for you today. I want to tell you about this young lady. This young lady, listen, when I first started on my journey, there was a young lady who got in contact with me and was telling me that they were following me on YouTube, and really got to know her. She's been very supportive, and as a matter of fact, she's supportive to several different people, several groups. Everybody would love to have this young lady in their group. So I just want you all to know that you're getting ready to meet someone who is very special right now, very special to a lot of us who actually have private groups and so forth. She's in there, she's posting, she's putting up all kinds of things. She's just the type of person that you would like to be in your private group, and that's why I have her in there kind of like an assistant in one of my groups, because she's just that great. She does have her own Facebook group, and I'm going to let her tell you what that is when I bring her on. So let's stop waiting for her and let's go ahead and bring her on right now. Muriel, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. Hey, it's really been an honor. I know I was speaking just before bringing you on. It's really been an honor to be able to know you. And I thank you so much for contacting me that day and letting me know you were starting your journey and so forth, and to see where you have come from and to see where you are right now. Just a great joy. I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, if everybody had a Muriel Wilcott in their group, it's like hands off. I mean, the lady, she runs it for you. You don't have to say a word. So I just wanted to lift you up and just tell everyone just how amazing you really are. And we're going to let you give your information for your group and stuff, because hopefully people will go over to your group as well to be able to participate and see the recipes that you put out, see all the fruits and everything else that you put out. So if you would, let's tell everybody about who you are, where you're from. You don't have to give your exact city that you live in, but where you're at so that they'll know what country you're in.
Hi, thank you for having me. I am from Canada. I live in a little place in British Columbia. Um, I started my journey in March of 2016. I started doing whole food, plant based uh, uh, foods. I
Mhm.
started watching, first of all, I think it was called Pure Nation, Pure Food Nation,
Mhm.
and Forks for Life, and Engine 2 with my daughter. And the next day we started. That was it. We went cold
Wow.
turkey and yeah, never looked back. And then, so I lost about 50 pounds when I first started. And then we had a little bit of a tragedy, and I had lost a friend. And so I went
Mhm.
through some post traumatic stress disorder. And so then I wasn't eating as healthy. I mean, I never went back to food, animal products or anything, but
Mhm.
started eating other things. So, and then so I gained about probably half of that back, and then I watched you, and and I started going raw. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So, how has your life actually changed since you started your journey, eating this way? I know you say you started previously, but how has your life actually changed, with the weight loss, with the health and everything? Explain that to us, how it's been for you.
Okay. Uh, so I had hurt myself on my foot. I fell, actually, was at the hospital. I thought I broke my foot, but it wasn't broken. I never go to the doctor. Like, they had x-rayed and everything, but it just kept bothering me, and I kept going back to the doctor, and he told me I had arthritis, which I didn't know I had. So this happened probably about 6 months prior to changing my diet. And every night my foot would ache. Like, I'd just be like, oh, it would, I'd scream. Like, I'd put my foot up. Like, it ached during the day, but it
Uh-huh.
was like painful when I got home, put my foot up. And so we went on, and it was about a week. Like my daughter and I both went on the plant-based journey together. And my sister was the day before us, so that was kind of nice. We had support. And she said to me about 4 days into our diet, or about a week, I guess, she said to me, Mom, has your foot bothering you? And I said, No. And she said, you haven't complained about it for about 3 or 4 days. And so that was the first thing that I noticed. And then, of course, I started losing weight and started feeling good. Like I had more energy. Um, and then I knew that it was probably like diet related, because every once in a while somebody would make me a vegan dish, but then my foot would ache the next day and I'd call them for the recipe, and there was always dairy in it. So sometimes it was sour cream or something, and then they would take me a couple days to get that out of my system. So I knew like dairy definitely is not the thing for me. So I've never looked back. I just, yeah. So that
Wow,
was probably the
that's
major thing.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me ask you about your foot.
Hmm.
Was your foot hurting on the top or was it on the bottom? Or was it in the heel
Uh,
section?
it was it was like the top. It was actually the top and probably like the heel. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
why I asked you that?
Why?
Because mine did the same thing.
Oh,
Literally, I would be driving and I would get this pain on the top of my foot. And I would be like, what is that? And literally, that's what it was. It was the pain in the top of my foot. But then when I started eating like this, all of it went away. I mean, it like totally left.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Like,
Was there anything? Were there any other reasons that caused you to go to lean more towards a raw fruitarian lifestyle? Was there anything else besides that?
it started with Dr. Brooke Goldner. She cured lupus, and then she like wanted to drink like green smoothie. So you're like really pushing in the greens, whether it's
Right, right.
spinach or kale or whatever.
Mhm.
And then a lot of omega-3. So we do a lot of chia seeds and flax seeds in our drinks, whole ones, and then some fruit and frozen fruit or bananas. So yeah, typically I put like probably a pound, like half a pound to a pound of spinach in my smoothie, and I just push it really down far, blend it up with some water, and then add the chia seeds. About half a cup. It's quite a bit, but I got lots of omegas in there and protein.
Mhm.
And then we usually add some bananas, usually 2 or 3 bananas, and about 4 cups of mango. Blend it up, and then drink that in the mornings.
Okay.
And so I kind of started there, and then having big salads, and then after that, I guess I watched Jillian Berry, and so I like her program, and that's where I seen you, and then I just resonated with you. I just for some, I felt like
Wow.
like we had the same kind of story,
Mm.
um, and then that followed you, and yeah,
Yeah, oh Jillian,
yeah,
when she interviewed me, there was a lot of people that contacted me. There was a lot of people that came over, and I was very amazed. I was inspired by that, and I was
yeah,
also amazed to hear that there were other people who were out there who were just like me and
yeah,
experiencing some of the things that I was experiencing. For me, I'm not. I think for me, it was really just that I knew that I had to do something about my health because, as I've said many times, I just didn't think I was gonna last long if I didn't. And so, I had a motive to change. And a lot of people they get really down because they try it for a week or so and they can't really stick to it and they get down on themselves. Well, I probably would be the same way if I didn't have a motive. But because I had a motive, I knew that if I did not change, my wife was going to wake up one morning and I was going to be beside her, and I was not going to wake up. I had it in I just had it in my head that that was what's going to happen because I've had a couple of friends, who have passed that way.
Yeah.
And, so I knew I had a motive. I had to change. I had to do something. But for the people who don't have motives like that, they just know something is wrong and they need to change. I try to
Yeah.
encourage them not to give up. So what? You go a week or you go 2 weeks and then you fall. So what?
Yeah.
Get back up and start it
Yeah.
again. When you don't get back up is when the problem happens. And
Yeah.
so, many of us, we go through those types of things, maybe not to the degree that some people go through it, but, we still have things that we would consider to be a setback that maybe other people wouldn't consider it to be that, but, we would consider it to be that. So I just
Yeah.
think it's good hearing your story. And I'm just glad you didn't get lost in those woods like that. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. So, can you describe a typical day for us? Like, what does your day consist of when it comes to eating? When do you eat? How much do you eat? If you even pay attention to that, I don't pay attention to how much I eat. I
Yeah.
stop eating when my body says, "Hey, you've had enough." so,
Yeah.
so how does that work for you? What's your typical day
About
like?
Yeah, so about the same. I some days I eat like a earlier breakfast, and some days like I won't eat breakfast till after lunch or lunchtime. But I start with watermelon or
Mm.
melon or oranges, depending on the season. Like right now, we're eating lots of watermelon, so and I sometimes have half the big watermelon, or a whole little watermelon.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
start
me
with
too.
half, and then going from there if there's a little. And then I usually wait an hour or so, and of course, it goes right through you. So,
Yeah,
and once that happens, then I usually have a green smoothie. Um, and like I already mentioned how I make it. So,
right.
and then lunch is sometimes salad or more fruit, or I just do veggies and dip. I like guacamole or hummus, something like that.
Mhm.
Um, or I make a cashew kind of a dip.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I
yeah,
love that.
so yeah, and then if I still hungry, I snack on some nuts. I also have like celery with peanut butter, or celery with hummus, or dates with
Yeah.
either one. I like them both with hummus or um, peanut butter or nuts,
Mhm.
um, or more fruit. And then usually for supper, it's a huge, huge salad. Like I'm talking like big serving bowls that we, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we usually make a dressing. I usually make the salad and she makes the dressing because she's pretty good at making dressings. But
Mhm.
I'll do like a dressing with like a ginger garlic dressing, and it's got some cashews in it, some, big chunk of ginger, and a couple cloves of garlic, some onion powder,
See,
and
listen to her.
vinegar
Just
and
look.
lemon.
Look
Yeah.
at she's
Yeah.
she's spilling off recipes. That's what I love about her. Wow.
And a little bit of brag to give you that salty taste, and
Yeah.
then yeah, and then that's usually it. Yeah. So and then at night I started having nuts at night,
Mhm.
but lately I've been getting a stomach ache from it. So I last night I had watermelon. Now I was in the bathroom quite a bit though. That's the only
I
thing.
was
So
getting ready to say, "Oh no, not watermelon before you go to bed."
so so sorry. I'm thinking I probably have apples maybe for tonight and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Something a little bit crunchy, but
Well, of course, my parents have been, they know how I eat now, and my dad just so happens to tell me just 2 days ago, he says, I've been eating a little more watermelon. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He says, I had some watermelon before I went to bed. He said, they call me man here where I'm from. Man, I was up all night going to the bathroom. I said, Dad, don't eat watermelon before you go to bed. I said, watermelon is probably the best diuretic you can have. When you have high blood pressure, the first thing that they give you is something called hydrochlorothiazide.
Yeah.
And what that does is it takes water, it takes the fluid off of your body so your heart doesn't have so much pressure to push, being so loaded with fluid. And I believe I showed in my second video where I stuck my thumb in my shin because
Yes.
that's how
Yeah.
much fluid I was holding. So, but man, when you start eating that watermelon, you better be prepared to go to the bathroom for number one and for number two. Because if
Exactly.
you've been eating mess, when you eat watermelon back behind it, it's going to move all that stuff out of your
Out.
system. It does. And
Yeah.
it does me like that. So if I have a little bit of cooked food and let's say the next day, I have some watermelon, for my breakfast, for my break fast. I bet you within 30 minutes, it's
Yeah.
time. And that's
Yeah.
awesome. And I love it. My wife now eats watermelon every day with me. When I
Yeah.
crack one open, she's right there beside me eating it. So, I'm really glad to hear that. Now,
Yeah.
have you ever been 100% a fruitarian, like 100%? Like, what would you say
No.
your percentage level is
I'd
eating
say
fruit?
like I'm high raw. That's
High
how
raw. Yeah.
high raw. Like I did a couple days. I'd love to be just fruitarian. That's was
Would
actually
you
my
really?
dream. But I find that I'm salt, savory type person. So that I do need the salads or something to kind of,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, get me through.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I lost a lot of, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it was probably fat anyway, but I lost a lot of muscle, eating fruit only. And, my wife was like, honey, because, I played football, so I had some big football thighs. And I used to pogo stick. I mean, I used to do all of that stuff when I was younger. So one thing that she would always compliment me on, even when I was heavy, she would say, your thighs are just so big. Well, when I started losing all of my weight, my thigh muscle started shrinking. And it could be because there was a lot of fat in my muscle. It
Yeah.
could be that. But she says, your legs are like you don't have those football thighs that you used to have. And I was like, well, you can either take my football thighs that I used to have along with all of the fat that went along with it and the bad health that went along with it and not being able to fit in, 40 jeans, 40
Yeah.
size 40s. I said, or you can take this, my leg muscles are smaller, and I knew that I forgot the name of the word. I knew that I had lost a lot of muscle mass
Yeah.
just eating fruit. Sorry about that. Just eating fruit, but I had to really decide what was best for my health. So I was willing to give the muscle up. Like my shoulders, I can even tell now my
Yeah.
shoulders aren't as broad as they used to be. So it's you just gotta give some things up, to have better health. And so
Yeah.
rather than wanting to look like I'm big and husky, no, I want to start looking thin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
And live a long life.
yes, yes. So what's the biggest health benefits that you have noticed besides your feet?
Uh, well, I guess the recovery time. I feel good. Like I'm not on any medication. I'm 69 years old, and my blood pressure is usually like 112, 105, anywhere from 52 to 72. So my blood pressure is really good. My pulse rate is about 52 to 56. A resting heart, so I think,
Wow.
yeah,
Well,
I feel healthy. I feel good. Yeah.
you can't beat it. Look, I had been aching for so long, and I had been tired and low energy for so long that when I started feeling good again, I forgot what it was like to actually feel good. I forgot what it was like to actually be healthy, to be able to, man, take off and just jog and not
Yeah.
have any problems, any issues, whatsoever. So, that was the greatest thing for me. And that's why I know I can never go back. I can never go
Yeah.
back to that old life, because that old life would have been the death of me. It really would have been. So I
Yeah.
have a lot to be thankful, like you, a lot to be grateful for. Just seeing how the food has altered, our lives so much.
Yeah.
So anyway, I
Yeah.
know I cut you off, but go ahead.
No, that's okay. That's good. Yeah, no, like even our jumping rope. Like
I
I
love it.
started with like 10. I could only do 10 at a time, and then
Yeah,
like now I can do 100. Like without
yeah,
stopping. So I mean they're ropeless or whatever they call it. But
right.
yeah,
It's the
but
same
it
effect.
still works. It's still
Yeah.
still getting a workout, still jumping. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I don't think I could do that without this lifestyle. So yeah,
Wow.
the energy and just clarity. Like your mind
Yes.
is more clear. Like is easier to think and yeah, not not fall like not you're not in a brain frog or whatever they
Yeah.
call that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Brain
yeah,
fog.
yeah,
Most definitely. Most definitely.
yeah.
I feel all of that. So, how do you ensure that you're getting all of your? This is what's asked of me a lot. So I got to ask you: how do you ensure that you're getting all the vitamins and minerals that you need?
I eat a rainbow of colors.
Yes. There you
So
go. Uh-oh. Did I lose you?
am I there? I eat.
Oh, there
Well,
you go.
am I still there?
Oh yeah, you're here. Go ahead.
There we go. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry. I eat a rainbow of colors, so that like from every spectrum, purples to the reds, the greens and yellows, and then I get my fats, my from my nuts and my avocado, olives, and also omega 3s from flaxseed and chia
Yeah.
seeds, and let's see what else. Protein. I know we hear a lot of people saying we don't get enough protein, but there's most people don't know how much protein to take.
Hey, you're
Canadian,
right.
our Canadian government says 48 grams to 51 grams,
Mm-hmm.
and we get that in our smoothie. If like you drink the whole smoothie, it's 80 grams of protein just in the one smoothie. So we usually divide it into three, and then you can get your other protein with other things that you eat. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's easy to get. It's just people just don't understand that part. So
Well,
yeah, and
actually, if you
I
listen,
I do take a vitamin B12 and vitamin D3 in wintertime or when we don't have a
yeah,
lot of sun. So yeah,
yeah, I do.
yeah,
I take a vitamin D, also a drop that's mixed with olive oil. That's the carrier for it.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I do that as well. So, but that's one of the things that we hear. You hear a lot, and I've heard doctors actually say the doctors who really are nutritionists, they will say we get too much protein.
oh,
Yeah,
way too much,
yeah,
way
yeah.
too much. Yeah,
We are
yeah,
overloaded with
yeah,
protein, and that's a
yeah,
lot of our problems. So, when I first started this, I would hear people say, "Hey, man, how do you get your protein?" And I would say, "Well, how does a bull get its protein?" Yeah, but its
yeah,
stomach, its whole metabolism is different. And I'm like, no, it's still about the same thing.
yeah.
You're gonna get what you need to get out of eating.
And really, when was the last time you heard that anybody had protein deficiency?
Yeah,
It's
I've never
only
heard
if
it.
they're starving. Like if somebody's starving, anorexic or whatever, not eating, that's when they. Other than that, you never hear of it, you know. So it's not
So
an issue.
have you faced any challenges? Have you faced any criticisms from friends, family? Since you have altered your eating lifestyle, like does it cause you a problem? Like when you go to parties or events that are taking place, how are you dealing with that? If you have any?
Yeah. My family and friends are very supportive, so you know, I usually make sure. Like the first time it ever happened to me when I first started,
Mhm.
I was invited to somebody's place, and they thought fish was okay for me to eat. I have celiac, so I can't. eat gluten. So, and then they had made pasta that was with no meat or anything, but I couldn't have the pasta. But they had a big pile of vegetables. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm bringing. So I always bring something, and I always make extra because
Mm.
usually somebody wants to try it, and then I got enough to share. So yeah, no, I don't think there's besides the protein thing that I think that's probably the biggest challenge that I hear about. So
Of
yeah,
course, I'm sure your mother doesn't say a word about it, right?
she doesn't. My mom's dairy free anyways to start off, and she will eat whatever. Like we were brought up like we I can't say we were like the standard American diet because we did eat meat and cheese and dairy, but we ate a lot of fruit and vegetables. My parents always had a big, huge garden, and we were six kids. There were eight of us, so
Oh,
our
wow.
meat portions were not very big, So
Mhm.
yeah, so we did eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. It was always at least a couple, maybe three, four vegetables on our plates. So, you know,
Wow. So you have a big family. You grew up in a big family as well.
yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, why don't you let people know how old is your mother and why do you think that
She'll,
she has lived to be so
yeah,
long?
she'll be 99 next month. Yeah,
$99.
yeah, she just keeps giving her, like she doesn't give up. She always is, you know, busy in the garden. She still has she has probably about 50 roses in the front yard that she maintains, and then she has a garden in the back. My brother-in-law made their high boxes, so
Hmm.
she grows, peas and lettuce and radishes, onions, whatever, and potatoes. Although she said she wasn't going to grow potatoes this year, but she maintains that. She still drives. She's
90, almost 99, and she still drives.
yeah.
Wow, that means her cognitive, sh- she's really good up in here.
Oh yeah,
Normally,
she is. Yeah,
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 normally at that age, there's a lot of people who really aren't that well cognitively at that age to where they can even drive. Now, tell me, how do you think that she has sustained her health for so long like this? What is it that she
uh,
does that
she's
most
very
of us do
active.
not?
The most I think she walks. She goes for a walk every day. Her house is a huge house, and it's like two levels. So she goes up and down the stairs several times during the day. If you were there walking with her, you'd be tired. Like, especially in wintertime, she's going up and down. She's got the stove. She's heats with wood. So she's got the stove going. So she, lights it in the morning, and then she leaves it, high to get it going so it won't clear up her chimney. And then she goes back down in 15 minutes and then, keeps it
Wow,
going all day. So, yeah,
that's
she's
amazing.
very
Yeah,
active. Yeah,
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 I enjoy seeing the pictures that you post up, and I'm like,
yeah,
wow, to have a mother who is 98 years old and is probably just as more active than most people that it
yeah,
just kind of shows you that's the path that we need to be walking with our health.
yeah,
I know there's lots of things that she stays away from. There's things that she does not eat, and she grows her own food. And to
yeah,
me, that's what the process to pure food movement is about. Many of us we've grown up in this way in which we eat, which the media, marketing, all of it propagates all of this food, this uh, product, this synthetic type stuff, this food-like substance that we're eating, and we continuously run and consume it, and sooner or later there has to come a reckoning in our own life where we start to say, okay, I can't
yeah,
continue to do this anymore, because really all of us know in our hearts it's from what we're eating. Even
yeah,
when I was big and really wasn't paying attention much, I still knew that if I was eating a salad, that was better than eating this donut. You know what I'm saying? If I was
yeah,
eating, some dates, that would be a whole lot better than me eating this thing of ice cream that I'm eating. So, we still know inside when we're doing
Yeah.
wrong and what we are eating is not the best for us. But I wanted you to talk about your mom for a second because I
Yeah.
think that's totally amazing. And, a lot of seniors today, you have to tell them, hey, why don't you get out of the house? Why don't you do some
Yeah.
exercising? And, it's really sad because it would benefit them to get out of the house and do exercising and try to get off of all the medication. I know people who are taking 9 to 12 different medications.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to
No.
live a long life. I want to enjoy a long life. You can live a
Yeah.
long life but not be happy. You could live a
Yeah.
long life in a nursing home. You could live
Yeah.
a long
In
life
bed.
in a hospital. I mean, you could live a
Yeah.
long life, but what's the quality of life that you're going to have? That's always been my concern is I want to make sure that I don't cause my children to have to take care of me because I chose not to take care of myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that for me that's just really
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Are there any misconceptions that you think people might have that that they may speak bad about eating the way that you eat? Any misconceptions that you have heard and maybe
Yeah.
want
I
to
think.
clarify?
Yeah. Sometimes I think they don't think it's sustainable, like that.
Yeah.
Our way of eating is not. But then I've like researched a lot of people, like Doug, Dr. Doug Graham. Like I think, uh, he started, I think, in 1978 or something,
Mhm.
and he's healthy and he's active. And Dr. Brooke Gordon, I can't say her name now. Goldner, she's 27 years, and Osborne, I think, she's probably 32 years.
Mhm.
So, I check other people and see, yeah, you can do it. You just got to do it right.
Right, right. So yeah, it is. It's a different lifestyle. I never thought that I would be doing it. I never thought that I would find myself eating, majority fruit, mostly raw. I never thought that I would see myself here at this place, but I am here at this place now, and I just wouldn't go back and wouldn't change it for anything. So, for me, the way I look at it is either I can go out and allow people to change me, or I can go out and I can help change people. So if I allow people to change me, I'll go wind up going right back to where I was. Um,
Yeah.
but if I go out trying and and wanting to help change people, not in a negative way, but in the
No.
way in which people can understand, hey, how valuable life is, and it's really all about what we're consuming, then I feel that that's a great benefit. So,
Yeah.
um, do you have anything? As a matter of fact, let's give people your social media handles so that they can um, find where you are, and also I'll get those from you, and I'll put this in the description as well. And remember, this whole video that we're doing right now is going to be in the members club. They will get the whole video, and then I'm going to chop it down some for the YouTube channels. But the members group will get the whole video. I think you're just very inspiring, and I'm sure you'll inspire those who are in there prayerfully.
Well, thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Real in the Raw is how you find me. It's a private group. Just have to ask to join, and yeah,
Mhm.
and let you in. I think I have 81 members now, so it's
Oh,
growing.
all right,
Yeah.
81
Yeah.
members. So for those of you all who are in a Fruit for Your Life private group, hey, go show some support to Muriel. Is that the only group that you have so
Yeah.
far? It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see those recipe channels that you're going to be doing and stuff like that on YouTube one day. I'm really looking excited. I don't know anything
Yeah.
about it, but I'm speaking that so that she's going to do that one
Well,
day.
I'm thinking about it. I just gotta, because
Hey, you
it
should.
might be my little chaperone.
Yeah,
He he
it's a
he
gift. It's a gift
yeah,
that
he
you have.
loves to do it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I might be. doing a little cooking show with him. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I support that for sure. Hey, you can put them out. I mean, when we first started communicating, and I was like looking at the recipes you were putting up, I was like, man, and my wife would look at your recipes and she would say, see, that's what I need. I need to, if I'm going to eat like you eat, I can't just, she says, I'm not like you, honey. I can't just eat oranges and, you know, apples and watermelons. I have to have something, and when she saw the types of recipes you were making, it was right up her alley. So looking so forward to doing that. When you get that channel up and going, I'm definitely going to have you back. Definitely going to be talking to people. As you know, this channel, From Processed to Pure Food Movement, is a young channel right now. So I do plan on this becoming a real movement. It's hard, it's tough to get it going, but I do see it one day becoming a real movement. There are a lot of people who do want to leave processed foods, but they just don't know how to do that.
yeah.
So hopefully, your channel, my channel, a lot of other friends that we know, people that we know who have their channels, will all be able to work it and push and help people together. It'll really be great. It'll really be great. Well, do you have any last words that you would like to say?
Let's see. Well, with our group, with our process group rather,
Mm-hmm.
please feel free to add some questions and concerns and things that you want to see happening, because that's where you need that input to make
Yeah,
good products come out. So
yeah,
if you have any questions, like, ask.
yeah.
That's what I do. Even if I can't ask you,
Thank you.
I ask you in private. Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely, again, appreciate you being a part of the private groups that we have, the membership club. You are a light, and I really do appreciate that. And I try my best to go through your channels and click like and put stuff in too. She's amazing. She supports so many people. You'll find her information in so many different groups. She's always on there helping add value to each Facebook page or YouTube or wherever she's at. She's always posting things up, and that's really important because it's tough on you. Like especially when you're first starting, and everybody's scared to post things up. Everybody's scared to say something, and then you have this woman come along named Muriel, and she's like posting stuff up all the time, and you're like, man, where's this woman come from? And then she continues to do it, and you say, hey, I mean, why don't I help? Why don't she become an admin or become a moderator? You start using her for that, and then she just like totally amazing. So, but I really do appreciate you, and I
Oh no.
wanted to make sure that you feel appreciated, because for those of us whose groups that you are in, you are a joy to have in there, and I thank you so much for being there.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I think I froze. I'm going dead. My phone.
Oh, it's like we're done already anyway.
Yeah,
54 minutes.
yeah.
54 minutes. Your
We did
phone is
good.
ready. So, hey, but I thank you so much for joining
Oh,
us.
you're
Thank you,
welcome.
Muriel. I appreciate you so much again, and I'll see you later. Everybody else, hold on, and we're gonna let's see here. We're going to let Muriel go, and I'm going to talk for a second. And but Muriel, again, thank you so much.
You're,
Appreciate you. All right.
you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Muriel Wilcott. Many of you, hopefully, you will get to meet her. She does a phenomenal job. She does recipes and things like that. So go support her page, her Facebook page, Muriel in the Raw. And you'll get a lot of great value out of her page. But as you heard, hey, living this kind of lifestyle, it's a change. You may feel like it's tough. You may feel like you can't do it, but there are people who are doing it, which means, guess what? You can do it. All right? So, hey, thank you all so much for joining me. I haven't done an interview in a while, and this has been a great interview. So glad that we've had one. For those of you who are on Process to Pure Food Movement, for those of you all who are in the Members Club, you will see the whole video. And for those of you all who are in Fruit for Your Life and from Process to Pure Food on the YouTube channel, hey, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you tuning in and listening to the interview, all right? Okay, we'll see you all on the next video. All right, you all take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ed.
Hey, thank you. I'll see you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.